Hello, and welcome to the Plant Medicine for PTSD podcast, the show where we dive deep into how veterans and other trauma survivors can use plant medicine in combination with mindfulness and spiritual practices to heal their PTSD, depression, anxiety, all that fun stuff, in order to find more peace, presence, and meaning in their lives. I'm your host, David, and I am very stoked to have you along here for the ride. So, I wanted to do this brief intro episode just to let you know what to expect, since I already have another podcast called The Way Broadly, or maybe you've just followed us on Instagram at Becoming Om and you're just kind of seeing this now and don't really know what's going on. So, basically, the overlords at Instagram and Facebook do a pretty great job of restricting what we're able to talk about. And the message that we're putting out anyway, it doesn't really lend itself to that kind of like short form stuff of just like pictures and stuff on Instagram. So I wanted to have a place where we can dive a little bit deeper into this information and really explore this whole world of healing with plant medicine and give it the time and attention that it really deserves. So each week, I'm going to bring you a video podcast, either sharing some information kind of more generally about different practices that you can employ to help with your PTSD or depression and anxiety. I'll share some more info about our programs and our retreats and sort of specifically how we help people. Or I might bring on one of our past clients to share their experiences or interview someone else in this field. So either way, you can expect to deepen your knowledge of how plant medicine works, how it can help you, and how you can go about working with plant medicine in a safe and authentic way. So before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about myself and why you should care. So I'm actually a doctor of physical therapy, which I got into because I thought that I wanted to help people heal by working with their physical body. And after about a year of working in a regular clinic, I wanted to kill myself because the medical industry is so broken and it just grinds your soul into a fine powder. But anyway, after about 2 more years of working independently, I realized I care a lot more about helping people heal their mind and their spirit more than just their knee pain or their back pain. So, my own journey with psychedelics led me to sit with ayahuasca for the first time, and I actually met my wife at that ayahuasca center that I was at. It's a bit of a funny story because I avoided her like the plague the entire week because I was there basically to heal my behavior, change my behavior in romantic relationships. And I felt like God was just testing me by throwing beautiful women at me. So I avoided her the entire time, but she still struck up a conversation. We exchanged info, and ultimately, months later, we got back in touch. We got back together, and our first date was actually a 10-day road trip across America. The second date, I went and lived with her for like 2 weeks, and the third date, she came and basically moved in with me and my parents. And here we are a couple years later, living full time in Mexico with our newborn daughter. And anyway, while she was at that retreat center, she developed a relationship with this woman, Sylvia, who is an indigenous Shipibo ayahuasca maestra. And Cordy went and sat with her down in her center in Peru, and that's now who we work with and we apprentice with. So now we basically spend all our time organizing and facilitating ayahuasca retreats with our indigenous healers down in their center in Peru. We put on plant medicine infused jiu-jitsu healing retreats here in Mexico. And we coach folks online to overcome their PTSD, depression, and anxiety. We've helped hundreds of people now over the last few years, and I'm very stoked to have this podcast as another avenue to be of service to you and to help on your journey. So make sure to subscribe to the Plant Medicine for PTSD podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or you can check out the videos on YouTube. And I encourage you to check out and join our online community on Telegram so you can get engaged with a whole group of like-minded folks and engage with Cordy and I on there. We always say that healing happens in community. So I feel like our Telegram group can really be a great resource on your journey. And together we can continue to learn, grow, and heal as a community. So thank you for tuning into this little intro episode of the Plant Medicine for PTSD podcast. Stay tuned for more week after week. Until then, peace out. Hare Krishna.